First, listening to Eddie Howe yesterday, he said he hadn't spoken to Isak for a week, and he also described the situation as a lose-lose situation. So come 7 o'clock, a week on Monday, where do you see Isak being?
At Liverpool.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I think, Dawes said it a week ago or so. He said after Monday's game, I think that it'll be sorted out, and I think he'll be spot on. I think he'll be spot on. It's got to be sorted out. These players now, ain't going to need the money to pay their mortgage. He could sit there for another 6 months if he wants. They might as well take the money now. He doesn't want to play. He's lost his legacy, and it's a shame on Newcastle because I thought they should have beat Villa last week. In Isak's plan, they would have won that game, and that would have been an amazing start to the season. So, for me, I don't like the way this is panned out. It's not the first time, and it won't be the last time.
It was that statement released by Isak. So much of this now, Clinton, played out on social media. That's the big difference to how we used to see things. I mean, it still happened. It just wasn't played out quite as publicly. I mean, he claimed that broken promises had been made by the club to him. Are you as confident as Mercy's that he will still find himself a Liverpool player come the end of the transfer window?
Yeah, I think he has to. He has to be a Liverpool player because it's going to be hard to go back to Newcastle. Yeah, they will take him back in if he goes back in and is scoring goals. We know he can score goals, but he's made it plain to everyone, knowledge to everyone that he wants to leave the football club. But he said he's had promises and he don't feel Newcastle have stuck to those promises. But then you look at Eddie Howe's interview and you think Eddie Howe's thinking, when he says stuff as well, you're not thinking...
To be fair, he's handled this very well,
He's handled it brilliant. I think it's something to do with the hierarchy. Maybe he's promised by the hierarchy he'll be able to get that move to Liverpool. Hasn't materialised. I think he should have gone about it where he should have still trained, still gone and trained with his teammates because you still need to keep your fitness, even though you want to get that move to Liverpool. Just get your head down and score goals. But it's fake promises he said he's had.
But could that have been made by the people who were there before?
Maybe.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's a sad situation the way it's going to end, in my opinion. I really do. I mean, look, everyone will go, Isak gets paid all this money. It wasn't too long ago he was an idolised, winning the Carabao Cup, heroes. That's all gone. You've just said his legacy is done and dusted. He cannot come back from this, in my opinion. The only way is, what happens if the deal doesn't go through? And Liverpool don't stump up the money and go, right, we're going to pay 130, 40 million pounds what it's going to be. Then he's in limbo. Then what does Eddie Howe do?
So there's absolutely no way for you, if he remained a Newcastle United player come the end of the transfer window, there's no way for you he can rebuild those bridges with the fans. That's done for you, is it? Because if he starts scoring again, surely it changes.
If it's 8 o'clock on the 1st of September and he's still there, he's then going to have to be integrated back. He can't just, surely they're not just going to put him into the reserves and go, well, carry on paying your fortunes, you just don't train with us. There's one person who's... No, I'd say one person. There's a few losing out. The fans and Eddie Howe. I really feel sorry for those group of fans and Eddie because he's having to come up, front it up, do the media, and all he's talking about is Isak. What about the players that are there, training day in, day out? It's all about respect, and Mercy, you said, players have done it before, we've seen it, but what you can do is you can go in and train. You might want to leave, it's clear, but just go and... train and do the job. You're getting paid respect for your employees.
The thing with all of this as well, and Liverpool are not going to mention, Liverpool have obviously spoken to an agent or something that started all of this off.
But I also wonder, Boydie, whether their priorities might just have changed because Ekitike's settling in brilliantly, but they've been so open defensively. Yeah, but we've seen in their first couple of games.
Simon, you cannot get a player to do what Alexander Isak has done and then back out the deal. It's impossible. I mean, he's totally lost, his legendary status at Newcastle. Last year delivered that cup that they've been hoping to get their hands on for a number of years. They were able to do that, scored the goal, was a hero. You cannot, Liverpool have obviously, you're going to have to do something to get yourself out. Because Newcastle, with PSR, but Newcastle don't need the money. They're the richest club in the world. They don't need the money. And this is where, you look at, and I know we'll touch on Nottingham Forest and Marinakis and that later, but you go back to when Morgan Gibbs-White stood strong. No, he's not gone. Newcastle could quite easily do the same. They could. But when you look at, for me, Liverpool, I've got a lot to answer for this because there is no way that you are going in and kicking up a fuss the way that Alexander Isak has if you've not been told we will make this happen.
Does the move happen for you?
It happens. It has to. It has to.
Liverpool are now in the final stages of completing a deal for Mark Gahey, with advanced talks ongoing between the Merseyside club and Crystal Palace over a transfer fee that is expected to be in the region of £40 to £45 million, including performance-based add-ons. According to multiple reliable sources, personal terms have already been agreed between Liverpool and Guehi, who is eager to make the switch to Anfield. The England international has reportedly made it clear that he sees Liverpool as the next step in his career, having turned down interest from other Premier League clubs and abroad in order to prioritise the move. The centre-back has just 1 year remaining on his contract at Selhurst Park, and Crystal Palace are now under pressure to cash in while they still can, rather than risk losing him for free next summer. Palace chairman Steve Parish is said to be involved in negotiations and is aware of the need to balance the club's finances as they look to strengthen other areas of the squad following a push for European qualification last season. The structure of the deal being finalised includes an initial fee close to £35 million, with add-ons potentially raising the total to around £45 million, depending on Guehi's appearances, team performance and possible future achievements such as Champions League qualification or England caps. Liverpool view Guehi as a perfect fit for their defensive needs, especially with uncertainty around the long-term fitness of some of their current centre-backs and the need for greater depth across a demanding campaign. New manager Arne Slot has given the green light for the deal, having already discussed with the club's recruitment department the importance of bringing in a top-level homegrown central defender who can offer both immediate quality and long-term value. The player has been quietly preparing for the possibility of leaving Palace for several weeks and has already begun informal discussions with Liverpool staff about housing, training integration and squad expectations. Liverpool's recruitment team, led by new sporting director Richard Hughes, have moved quickly and efficiently to close out negotiations after making Guehi one of their top defensive targets at the start of the summer. While Palace initially held firm on their valuation, the combination of Guehi's desire to move and his expiring contract has left them little room to resist Liverpool's latest offer. Guehi is expected to sign a 5-year deal, with an option for a 6th year included, and will become one of the club's highest-paid defenders once the transfer is officially completed. He would also become Liverpool's first major defensive signing of the summer window, potentially followed by further additions as the Reds look to reshape their backline ahead of a crucial season both domestically and in Europe. As things stand, only final formalities such as medicals, official documentation, and timing of the announcement are left to be finalised, with all parties optimistic the move will be concluded shortly. Guehi is reportedly keen to join the Liverpool squad as soon as possible to ensure he's fully integrated ahead of the Premier League restart. Kostas Tsimikas could be on his way out of Liverpool this summer, as the club continues its squad overhaul under new manager Arne Slot. With the recent signing of Milos Kerkez and the continued presence of Andy Robertson, Liverpool now have 3 senior left-backs vying for one position, leaving Tsimikas as the most likely candidate to depart. Reports from several reputable outlets suggest that the club is open to offers and would be willing to part ways with the Greek international for a fee in the region of £12 to £15 million. Leeds United have emerged as a serious contender for his signature, while Valencia, Lille and Olympiacos are also believed to be closely monitoring the situation. According to This Is Anfield, Tsimikas was left out of Liverpool's Community Shield squad, a decision seen as a significant indicator that the club is preparing for his potential departure. Despite the speculation, Tsimikas has recently spoken about his happiness at Liverpool, stating that he is proud of his role at the club, even if it has mostly been as a backup to Robertson. Since joining from Olympiacos in 2020, he has earned praise for his professionalism, energy, and contributions during cup competitions and injury spells, including key performances in Liverpool's 2021-22 Domestic Cup double campaign. However, the addition of a younger and more attacking option in Kerkez has added further competition to an already congested role, and the club appears ready to move on. Sources suggest that while a move abroad is appealing to Tsimikas, he remains open to staying in the Premier League if the right project comes along, particularly if it guarantees regular first-team football.